Hello and welcome to Coffee with Carey. I appreciate you stopping by today, as I always do. If you're new, I'm Carey. I'm a matchmaker. I'm a dating coach out of the Chicago area. I encourage you, if you're looking for matchmaking or a dating coach, to check out my description box down below. There's a link to my website, coffeewithcarey.com. Lots of answers to lots of questions to let you know whether that might be of use to you or whether or not you're perfectly fine doing things just the way you're doing them. So today, wanted to talk about, it comes up so often, Mr. Wrong. We pick him over and over again, some of us. Why do we do that? How do we break out of that habit? There are some things I suggest, things that other people have shared with me that have worked for them to break bad habits, get off of Mr. Wrong, start looking at Mr. Right, trying to get some success out of this dating and fix the picker. If that's at all interesting, I hope you will stick around for the conversation because that's what's on the agenda. If you are attracting negativity, unhealthy, dysfunctional relationships, if you are drawing that to you, what should you do? There's a pattern you're seeing. How do you break this habit? First and foremost, my recommendation and the recommendation of other friends I have, therapists even, have said that you really need to step back, get a little distance, and reassess. And I agree that that is probably the great first step, is to remove yourself from any negativity, dysfunction, or unhealthiness and step back where you can get a little perspective and let's figure this out. So that would be step number one. Remove yourself from the situation. You've stepped back. What do you do now? You need a little self-assessment. If you don't feel you can do this on your own, I'm a huge proponent for therapy. And I feel that if you need somebody, you need some tools to help you break bad habits, to help you take a look at what you are drawing to you, the things that you are repeating that bring those things into your life. Sometimes you can't see it because you're too close to the situation, in which case an outside person, a professional even, could be really useful in this situation and helping you identify what it is that isn't working, that's bringing Mr. Wrong into your life again. So if you're open to seeing a therapist or a counselor of some nature, an outside source professional, I would recommend you do that if this is something you really want to fix this time around. If you've had it, you're fed up with making the same mistakes over and over again, right? What is that? Insanity. Who do you go to for insanity? A therapist. Number 3, you've decided you don't want to see a therapist, but what do you need to do then for yourself? You need to set aside some time for self-reflection, some uninterrupted, quiet time to think through some things and do the work to figure this out for yourself. You need a little reflection and self-examination. There are some tools you could use to make this easier to do by yourself. One would be journaling. Journaling often helps people identify things that they're thinking. It's not readily available to them mentally to pinpoint it on their own, but if they do some free journaling or writing on the subject, sometimes you can get to that just by continuing to write stream of consciousness or something like that. You may want to look into how that's done or guidelines on making that most effective or useful to you. So journaling, along with your own self-discovery and trying to pinpoint your own patterns, might be helpful. The other thing, if not a professional, would be a really smart friend. I have a couple of those, some people that when I'm struggling with something intellectually or emotionally and I need a second opinion, there are some people in my life whose opinions I truly value. I think they're insightful. I would pick your most insightful friend, the one who likes to discuss or contemplate interpersonal relationships. Maybe somebody who has always been interested in psychology and likes to figure out how the human mind works, but also somebody who cares for you and wants what's best for you, so they would be wanting to help you. Now, the thing here is that you have to be open to somebody else's opinion, and they're not a professional. You're their friend, And you need to maybe set up a keyword or some type of a safe word where if it's getting too personal or you feel like your feelings may be hurt or they're a little too close to what's really kind of the point is, that they slow things down or back off, give you time to absorb where you're at already. But a friend could certainly step in and help you look at things from a different perspective when you are too close to see it yourself and try to break any patterns or habits of how you're choosing the men that you want to get to know, who you're picking. Is it the nice guy? Is it the bad boy? What qualities is it that you're picking over and over again? What's that turning out to be? Who are these people? What do they have in common? This friend could probably help you figure that out, especially if they've met these men that you've dated or chosen over time. So that would be another way to approach that. Number 4, you need to examine past relationships to figure this out usually. So my helpful tip would just be to look at the relationships in your life kind of from outside of them if you can. And I'm not just speaking about romantic relationships. Sometimes it's your attachment style. Yeah, attachment style is a theory on how we connect to other people and whether we pull back from people or we lean into certain situations. I'm sure you can Google it to find out more information on the different attachment styles. I don't think I've ever done an episode on it because I'm not well versed enough to actually discuss it intelligently, but I may have done an episode where I just laid out what the different attachment styles are. I think I did that. So if I can find that for you, I will link to it right here. But looking at your parental relationship, your relationship with your children, friends throughout the years, along with your romantic relationships, can sometimes bring to light another pattern you may have with the people you choose to surround yourself with. That can sometimes be enlightening, so I encourage you to look at that as well. Number 5 is ask yourself the simple question, do I have a type? If you're really having a hard time getting started and figuring out where you keep going wrong, where your picker is broken, do I have a type? What is the thing that I am attracted to in people? What are the things that make me feel connected to somebody? And perhaps you will notice, if you can narrow this down a little bit, that your list of things you're looking for in a partner are not aligning with the things you are getting in a partner. And if you can figure out that disconnect, if you could try to set yourself up for something that's healthier, that's going to feed your emotional self as opposed to sometimes destroy our emotional selves, I think that could be really helpful to try to find the patterns by looking at what your type is. Type is just something that we're really familiar with. And if you can make a list of what your type is, you may see something in there that will trigger you to understand where things are going wrong with your picker. And then finally, I just wanted to conclude by saying that sometimes self-examination and figuring out the mistakes we're making can be hard to do. We really are so in the thick of it and in the middle of it that it's hard to step back and be not partial or be objective about something that's so subjective. And I wanted to say that I truly, if you are not connecting with somebody or you keep picking the same person over and over or drawing that kind of person or that energy that certain people have to you, I truly believe that you can change what you draw to you. I think you can talk to yourself and tell yourself what you want to bring to your life. Write it down. Journaling, as I mentioned earlier, not just the free form journaling and just stream of consciousness, but an actual intentional journal of some of the things you're thinking about and the things that you do want in your life. Doing a vision board or writing a list of the things you want to bring to your life this year, perhaps. That's like a different way to approach New Year's resolutions. Not that you're changing anything, but to list the things you want to draw near to you, to attract, and to fill your life with positive things, healthy things, things that will bring you satisfaction and joy and money and love or whatever those things are for you. But I truly encourage you to do the self-examination, do the work so that you can bring to you something that is really healthy, very fulfilling, and that would be real love, healthy love, did an episode on what healthy relationships are supposed to look like. I'll put that at the end of this episode, and maybe that will be helpful to you as well as to focusing on some of the specifics that you want to bring to you. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please give the episode a thumbs up. Let me know that you are connecting with something I said that has inspired you to take a closer look and fix this situation, whatever it may be for you, so that you can bring real, healthy, true love into your life. I hope you will subscribe while you're here. Just hit that subscribe button, hit the ring bell, then you're notified every time a new episode goes live, and I'll look forward to seeing you back again soon. I appreciate you being here today, and until next time, have a good one.